Billy the Kid's early life began in New York City, where his parents Patrick and Catherine McCarty settled after immigrating from Ireland following the Great Famine of 1845. Census records from 1855 and 1860 document the presence of Billy's family members, Patrick, Catherine, Bridget, William, and Joseph McCarty, in the city. This period marks the start of the journey that would eventually lead Henry McCarty to become the infamous outlaw known as Billy the Kid. Welcome to Part 2. In 1863, New York City was a focal point of significant and tumultuous events, primarily driven by the Civil War and its associated social and political tensions. Here are the key happenings. Civil War conscription. The Union's implementation of the first federal conscription law in March 1863 led to widespread discontent. The law allowed wealthier men to pay $300 to avoid the draft, which incited anger among the working-class population who could not afford this fee. The whereabouts of Patrick McCarty, the father of Billy the Kid, and Bridget, his sister, after 1863, are somewhat uncertain and subject to conflicting accounts. Here are the key points based on available historical research. Patrick McCarty's fate. The most widely accepted account suggests that Patrick McCarty enlisted in the Union Army during the Civil War. He is believed to have died on May 25, 1865 in Kentucky, and is buried at Nashville National Cemetery. The precise details surrounding Patrick's death remain unclear due to the lack of documented evidence specifying the exact time and manner of his demise. However, it is widely believed that he passed away after relocating from New York City with his family. The New York Civil War muster roll shows Patrick McCarty enlisted on September the 23rd and deserted the regiment roughly 5 weeks later in Washington, D.C. on October 28th. However, December 18th, 1862. Newspaper clipping shows Patrick McCarty was wounded. Was he hiding out while he was healing? New York Dispatch, December 20th, 1863. Probable case of hydrophobia. Patrick McCarty, veterinary surgeon, was taken to the station house in Jersey City last Wednesday, suffering from what is supposed to be hydrophobia. He will take no food, and the sight of water throws him into violent spasms. The physicians are of opinion that the disease is contracted from the bite of a horse. His case is considered hopeless. The New York Herald, June 26, 1864, robbed by a female. Jane E. Carey, an Irish woman, was arrested by the 4th Precinct Police on complaint of Patrick McCarty, residing at 56 Roosevelt Street, who charges her with stealing $260 in Treasury notes. They entered the premises, 326 Pearl Street, and, while there, Jane took the money from Patrick's pocket and passed it to another woman then present, with the request that she should put it away. The request was not complied with, however, and the money was restored to the owner. The prisoner was taken before Justice Hogan and locked up for trial. The value of $260 in New York in 1863 would be about $7,500. The premises of 326 Pearl Street searched in the newspapers. Archives shows its location is near the now Brooklyn Bridge and operated as a bar on the downstairs and a boarding house upstairs. Again, this section of New York is located in Ward 1, District 1, where the census recorded him in both 1855 and 1860. It also indicates that he had some wealth and a desire to wet his whistle. The New York Herald, April 12, 1866. A large number of dirty stables, cow stables, exist on Bergen Street between Carlton and Vanderbilt Avenues, Brooklyn. About 125 cattle are kept there. There is a total lack of drainage. Patrick McCarty's stable is particularly offensive. The complainant asks that they may be removed before the warm weather sets in. Did Patrick McCarty own a horse stable? Is this where young Billy learned to ride at an early age? Perhaps. This is the general area where the cow and horse stables were located, very close to Mount Prospect. In 1859, a Patrick McCarty offered a $10 reward for his stolen bay mare in this vicinity. The New York Herald, September 20th, 1870. Patrick McCarty, a man 53 years of age, yesterday evening fell into the dock from Pier No. 4 North River and was drowned. The body was conveyed to the late residence of deceased, 92 Greenwich Street, where Coroner Rollins was notified to hold an inquest. This address is located also in Ward 1, District 1. The next records now show Catherine McCarty living in Indiana with her two sons, Henry and Joseph. But did Patrick McCarty pass away before Catherine left New York for Indiana? And where's her daughter Bridget? And why Indiana? Did she have family there? This is what we shall explore next. In 1867, following her husband Patrick McCarty's presumed death, Catherine relocated from New York to Indianapolis with her sons, Henry, later Billy the Kid, 8, and Joseph, Josie, 4. Her daughter Bridget, 14, was not mentioned in this move, suggesting she may have stayed behind or passed away. The Edwards Annual Directory of Indianapolis, Indiana for the year of 1867 shows Catherine McCarty listed and widowed to Michael, living at the address of 385 North New Jersey Street. The street numbering system in Indianapolis was changed in 1897. To locate this address requires a pre-1897 map. Upon examining the 1887 map focused on this section of Indianapolis, it is evident that 385 North New Jersey Street was situated on the east side of New Jersey Street, between Walnut and St. Clair Streets. The original building from 1867 no longer exists currently and now occupied by a high school. Referring to the 1868 Logan's Directory, Catherine McCarty is listed as residing at 199 Northeast Street. Utilizing a pre-1897 map, this address is now identified as 341 Northeast Street, located between Vermont and Lockerbie Streets. The directory again lists Catherine as the widow of Michael. This home listed in the Lockerbie Square Historic District, and it definitely fits the bill. This is the backyard, but at the time it was larger because the house wasn't broken in two separate dwellings, as it is today. Billy would have been 8 and Joseph 4 years old at this time. And what did Catherine do during her stay in Indianapolis? While we cannot say for certain, it's plausible to speculate that she might have worked in a laundry. Considering that she later operated a laundry in Wichita, it seems likely. In fact, Logan's 1868 directory lists John L. Spaulding's City Laundry, located at 22 and 24 South New Jersey Street, just a few blocks south of Catherine's residence. Is it merely a coincidence that Catherine also named her Wichita establishment the City Laundry? As to our earlier question, where's Patrick and Bridget McCarty? Could this New York 1870 census recording in Ward 12, District 3, showing Patrick age 40 and Bridget age 28 be them? Perhaps. They list Bridget in the 1875 census with 4 children, with age 16 being the oldest. Maybe they are Patrick's. If you're interested in learning more about Billy the Kid, you might consider subscribing to this series. The show aims to provide a dramatized but informative look at the events that shaped Billy the Kid's life before he became a notorious figure. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Billy the Kid. If you ever wanted to know about the history of White Oaks, New Mexico, I've got you covered. The site is whiteoaksnewmexicogoldrush.com.